Yo, what's up, guys? VENM here, back with another video, and today we're going to hop into our first Madden 23 video of the new season. If you guys are new or returning to the channel, I urge you guys to go ahead and subscribe and drop a like on this video. We're going to be dropping daily Madden 23 videos on how you guys can get better at the game. I already have a ton of stuff planned, including this is going to be our best offense day one. We got a best defense one coming out. And we just have a ton of different things, best playbooks to use, some other formations, obviously, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So subscribe for the best Madden 23 tips, especially if you're new. If you're returning, welcome back. It's going to be a fun year. And we are going to start out with our best offensive formation in the game that I like to use. And it's going to be a simple one that's not necessarily too unexpected. It's going to be just the gun bunch offset formation. Now, this is actually in the Carolina Panthers offensive playbook, one that did not change. A lot of the playbooks did end up changing. This was not one of them, so we ended up using the Panthers playbook for this formation. It's in a couple of other formations. Again, I still need to go back and memorize all of that, but enough rambling on. This is not the playbook that I use personally. I use the Detroit Lions playbook personally. We'll be dropping some stuff out of that. But yeah, we're going to go into our audibles. I like double posts. We're going to replace this inside zone with the flood play, and then PA dig fork we're going to replace with Z spot and go. Now you have some good running plays in this, of course. You have an inside zone split. Now this particular playbook does not have the read option, but you have some other really good plays as well. Dig return you see on the right. I like that play a lot. And some of the other things you have are plays like smash return in the middle, very good play, curl flat on the right, and then I like mesh spot a lot on that left side. So we're gonna go over all of those plays. Let's just start out with the double post play. Defensively, we're just gonna be going up against a basic defense, cover three. Now, the first thing when you're running gun bunch is, of course, going to be the hash marks. How do you address the hash marks? Now, there are certain plays where it's better to run gun bunch from the short side of the field, and there's certain plays where it's better to run it from the wide side. Now, for the most part, the general status with bunch is to run it on this wide side of the field, so you're going to have the more space for your gun bunch to operate. Pretty standard stuff that you would expect. Now, what you can do, and what you see people do, if they do want to run their bunch on the short side, they can come out like this, and then they can go ahead and flip their play like this, which is a popular strategy. It's not one that I'm going to be using too much in practice mode for time's sake, but it is going to be a good strategy. Now, starting out with this double post play, the first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is just drag RB and drag, and that's pretty much it. You still have A on a flat. You still have Singletary going on this kind of running back out to the right. And you have two deeper options in Stephon Diggs if they're playing a hard flats, or Gabe Davis here. You have a check down as well with Dawson Knox in the flat. So there you see kind of your first read's going to be those quick routes, generally going to be the flats with your tight end if it's open. Usually you want to take it. Whenever I see a route open, I take it. I'm usually not thinking of, oh, if I wait 5 more seconds, the post could get open deep down the field. You don't want to put yourself in those situations because that's how you get sacked. You want to play it smart generally, and if it's open, you take it. Next reads are going to be the running back and the slot wide receiver, so it's going to be a combination of the drag to Jamison Crowder and that running back route to Devin Singletary. So you can kind of throw either. Here you see Singletary on his route, and this is just very difficult to defend because it's a portion of the field that you can't really put a zone. These routes also burn man coverage, but these guys just sit in a spot in the zone that you can't really put somebody. You would have to move a vertical hook to a 0-yard depth zone drop, and that's going to open things up like Gabe Davis on the post route, which you see good timing there. So really, if you're playing against stock coverage, you notice how Gabe Martinez is really in no man's land, or Blake Martinez, not Gabe Martinez. He's really in no man's land, and he's actually not defending anything. Now, Stephon Diggs over here, let's say we go into a late read, you can hit him. It just depends on the coverage. If it's cover 2, you're going to throw the drag probably 99% of the time. But if it is cover 3, you have the opportunity to potentially hit him there. And you see how we can also throw the drag. McKinney's kind of in no man's land as well. Now, I'm also not sure why, or I guess it's practice mode, so they're actually wearing their practice jerseys. That's a cool addition. I did not know that. So they don't have the names on the back. It's going to test our knowledge. Now, the next way I like to run it is going to be with RB on a hitch, and you're running back out to the left. So This is just going to be a different thing, but it makes all the difference, especially if he's expecting the dual drags and then you go with something like this. Might not be expecting it, and you see first read's going to be here. This will probably do a better job of opening up digs, and also if you are more concerned with opening up digs, what you can go ahead and do is flip the play to the other side. It seems to give you more space to operate. So here you see Stephon Diggs, and you notice how McKinney is coming down a little bit more than he even did on the drag, because the out route's going to get there a little bit quicker than the drag would more times than not. Something else you can do if you don't like the out route, you can go with the wheel route, which again, you see it does go not as wide this year, which is a change, but it is still going to kind of go wide out, and it does seem to open up digs a little bit more as well. So you can do that. Again, the wheel routes, they're not going to be as good, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we can work our way around it. Bunch is still very good. So here you see hitch route sitting in the middle of the field, very good for zone coverage. Not going to be as good for man coverage, but that is going to be our second play. Creates kind of a high-low between your hitch and your flat. Now, something else you can do, let's say we want some extra protection, which is perfectly fine. A setup I have liked to go to is with just RB on a hitch. We drag A, and then we have this post route. Something you can do with this post is actually motion him out just a step to get it a little bit delayed. Now, it does take a while for him to get upfield with motions this year, so I don't motion as much, but that's something you can do, especially if he is not sending as much pressure. The 4-man rush is going to get through a lot of the time this year, so you do want to be wary of that. And here you see you can hit the post route. So this is going to be kind of a flood concept. You have all of your routes kind of gravitating towards that left side of the field, while most of them start on the right side. So it is something to note. I mean, if you really want to, you can also go with RB on like a little whip route here. Just things like this to throw them off, and you see you can throw it there. Of course, you can throw the hitch as well, but this would maybe make it a little bit more difficult on the user. So the last thing I'm going to show is a little bit of motion concept. Now, if we are using motion, we're going to motion Crowder over on like a backside slant or a backside in route. You can do either or. And then with Y, again, you can throw him on like a little option. You can throw him on a wheel, or like just a little swing route is something that I kind of like this year. So you can run a play like this, snap it, and this is just gonna, you see how the swing routes, you have just a lot of space to work out here. So 5 yards, it gives you the option to make a man miss. So you really just have a lot of potential this year. And again, we can go slot. You can also swing him to the right, which is going to take a while, so I generally stay away from that. Here's going to be the slant on the motion, and the slant, again, I'm just not the biggest fan of it, but I like the in route better. It just gives better depth, makes it more difficult to user both this slot receiver and that backside post. So that's my 2 cents. That's going to be it for double post. We're going to move on to the flood play, and the flood play is going to be just a simple, basic play. Typically, my favorite setup was to throw Singletary on a wheel route. Again, the wheels are not as good in this sense, so I'm not the biggest fan of doing that personally as much. And that's going to kind of move us to setup number 2 and what I liked to do then. Now, setup number 2 for flood was always to go with Singletary on an out route to the left, and then you could just run the rest of it stock. It's going to be an easy high-low between Crowder and Knox. You should immediately be able to tell who you're going to throw it to. If you're throwing it quick, you're going to throw it to Dawson Knox. If you want to wait a little bit, that is usually when you can hit the slot receiver, Jamison Crowder, in this case. So again, this play is going to be a little bit worse than it was last year. That is something to note. And you notice how this can potentially be a cover 3 beater as well, because you take a look at how far that outside third is biting. That is something to note. Now, if you do really want to throw the out route, what you could do is motion Gabe Davis out completely, but just take a look at the outside third and how he's biting on that, and how you could maybe create something like this. Now, I don't have all my cover 3 beaters developed yet, but it's something to recognize that we can maybe take advantage of, especially if you were to maybe motion over a player and put a slot receiver on a streak. But in order to prevent that, what you can do is motion over Davis, and this will hold him, and then you can throw the out route over the top. If it is a hard flat, in that case, you would have thrown it to the flat. But just to show you the different scenarios, because we're facing the same coverage, we don't want to throw it to the same person every time, even though it would work every time. Now, pretty standard stuff there. Something else you can do is just to create a little difference. You can throw A on like a little backside in route or backside drag, and then put Singletary on a little out to this side. Again, just to create more crossing routes, more kind of drag type routes in this scenario, and it would work. Flood's not my favorite play, and you could actually put mesh spot in its audible if you would like, but it is there. Next play is going to be verts halfback under, which is probably going to be your best play here. I like this play a lot. My personal favorite setup is going to be throwing A on a drag, and then you have Singletary, you have your deep route with Crowder, and then you have your wheel, which is going to be a cover 2 beater, and Diggs, which is just going to be your clear out. If you want, I like to double team this guy. Oh my god, how is the double team just not work on that D end? Blocking is not going to be fun this year, I'm telling you guys. Like, it's frustrating when you just can't double team him. Let's see if it can work there. And he just gets so high on us, and then... But you see how the RB is open. I'll sit in the pocket this time. I should have went against a 3-man rush just because I want to show the plays. I'm not as concerned with, working on pocket presence right now, if that makes any sense. But you see how Jamison Crowder is getting open on this deep crossing route. You can either throw it in between the numbers, as I did right there, or if you have the time, you can scramble out and throw it to the sideline. So there is that. And then again, you have your basic underneath routes similar to double post, where you have a drag and you have a little under route with your running back. We love those, and that is something this stock route is not in regular bunch. So again, these are kind of my main setups. Verticals, I don't really branch out as much just because of how good the play is. You don't necessarily need to do all this crazy stuff to make the play work. Keep it simple, and it's very difficult to defend. Especially Crowder, he gets so deep that you can't really do anything. Pause. But the next thing you can do with Singletary is put him on like a little out route, especially if you want to keep Dawson Knox here. He's going to be really good against cover 3 and how you can fit him in the seam. So if you want to do that, more than happy to do that. So that's going to be another setup. Another one you can do is with Singletary on a straight streak route. Not a wheel route, this is a streak route. This has been a red zone play of mine for 3, 4, 5 years. And it's just a really simple route. You just put him on a streak, and then it's really good, especially against cover 3 coverages. Cover 2, it's not going to be as good, but you still have ways to beat cover 2, which if it were cover 2, you would throw it to either Gabe Davis or Jamison Crowder, and these guys would be able to occupy zones. So you have that. And again, if you wait to the sideline, you can throw it to Jamison Crowder here and make some stuff happen. So the last way to run it, and this is not going to be as good, any route that had this wheel route that needed to go to the sideline is not going to be as good, but you can put him on a wheel route if you would like. And again, he just doesn't run as much to the sideline. He's just going vertical, so you just really cannot throw it to him quickly. And if you are throwing it to him quickly, at that point, you might as well put him on what do we call a swing route. So just some stuff there, some food for thought. But those are going to be my vertical setups. And again, these are all just the basic setups because it is day 1. We haven't developed any cover 3 beaters, any metas necessarily yet. Of course, when those come out, we will be dropping a lot of gun bunch videos throughout the year, so you can expect to see some of those. But moving on to our next play, it's going to be Z-spot and go. This is going to have a really good deep corner route. It has a nice flat route with Singletary, and then it has a good man-beating route if you're facing man coverage. Gabe Davis's route is really good. You can either, if they're not pressing, you can just run it standardly like this, and you see, boom, he fakes out even the zone coverage, and it's just a really good route. He doesn't stop for 20 seconds. He stops pretty quick, and then he runs, so it's just a really good route. It's not a route that people used to keep on their field, but now it's almost always on the field. So he's really good against man coverage specifically, and there you see the tackle battle in action. Every time I'm about to get tackled, I'm spamming A if I'm not juking or doing anything like that, just because you're going to break the tackle battle and win those extra yards. So you also have the corner out. You notice how the outside third is going to do a really good job at defending the corner out unless you have a clear out, so that will kind of tie into our next take. Now, if we are intending to throw the corner out, what are we going to do? We're going to kind of go all in. We're going to slide to the right. We're going to double team this guy. We can put Diggs on a little backside in route. We can also smart out that. I'm going to block my running back for extra protection. And with Gabe Davis, we noticed earlier that the streak from the slot did not work as well, so we can actually motion him out. Now, I like to let him get set because it takes a while if you motion snap him for him to get up the field, and the corner out almost always gets there faster, which is not what we want. So there you see, you can throw the corner out, and he is going to get open. Let's try it from the slot, and you will see we probably won't replicate that level of success that we initially had. So we'll try it here. And again, it seems to be very difficult to double team, and it's also very difficult to cut block, so that's not gonna be as good. But you see, not open, you have to click on and undercut it in order just to have that level of success. So that is why we motion out. Now, some other things with this Z spot and go play that I like to do was, if, let's say we do want extra protection, which is not out of the ordinary. What we can do is go with A on a little drag route, something like this. And then if we wanted to go with the motion out, we could do this. We have some extra time, so we can do that. If you're ever trying to create like a little delayed route, I think this is a really good concept to do. And the concept is going to be motioning him out and throwing it before he stops. So you're gonna motion him out, he's gonna go. You can throw it right here. I even threw it a little bit late. I probably motioned him out too much as well. So we'll try it again here. Motion him out. You can like low ball it right here, and it's just a really good throw. I would recommend low balling. If your quarterback can't make a low ball, just try and pass lead to the left or down, something like that, to have success. But really good concept. We showed the corner out. There's not too much else with this play. Let's just show, I guess, the high-low on this left side a little bit. Singletary, wide open, you take him. If it's hard flats, we already showed what you can do with the corner route earlier. So really, really good set of plays. Let's hop into some more plays. I know this video is getting a little bit long, but there's a lot of explaining to do. And I'm trying, since I know some of you guys are new, to explain it to the best of my abilities. Now, we're not going to show every play necessarily that I run, because we do want to be mindful of time, I guess. But we are going to show a lot of these plays. The ones that I'm not going to show in particular that I've run are Z spots on the left. I'm covering it. That's pretty much the same as Z spot and go, but it's just a little bit worse. And then the other play is curl flat on the right. It's going to have a deeper kind of corner out, but similar concept, so there's not really a reason to show it. The plays I'm going to show are dig return, smash return, and mesh spot. Let's get into dig return. We really only have one main setup for this, but it's a really good concept and really good in the red zone, mind you. You're going to put digs on a smoke screen, and that's just about it. I like this play from the short side of the field as well, so I'll show it once from there, but just a really good basic play. You notice the delayed zig route is money in the bank. If he's playing over the top, you have your quick read, which is going to be your quick flat to Dawson Knox, which you can still throw if he's playing over the top. A lot of times, bigger tight ends on cornerbacks this year, they're going to be able to break those instant tackles the way he did right there. Dawson Knox isn't Gronkowski, and he's making those things happen. So the next route you have is RB. I would have probably highballed there, knowing that there's going to be a safety in that linebacker position. 99% of the time you're playing online against a player who is good. If you are able to hold the pocket, you notice that you end up getting a high-low read on the left side right there. I would have tried to throw into X. You see how difficult it is to scramble out this year. This is no contain. This is a just complete standard four-man rush. Nothing special about this. And we have a decent offensive line. We don't have any abilities, but you notice how valuable these quick plays are to get the rock out. So you can even do things like this if you're concerned about that. Just a little streak, a little zig route. And that's why you generally either want to max protect. If you're not max protecting, send 5 out and try to get the ball out quickly. So that's it for dig return. Again, I mentioned, actually, I'll show it from the short side of the field. It doesn't change a whole lot, but it does create just a little bit more room. You see how we have more room for the flat route. Previously, since the curl flat has a lot more room to roam, he's biting a little bit more aggressively. Now he has to respect 2 routes in a short distance, meaning he has to play both routes. So our next play is going to be smash return. I like this play a lot for a number of reasons, and it's going to be the tight end corner out. First of all, see if we can scramble out. For some reason, he's like auto-containing, but you see this one, since it is from the slot, it's a little bit longer developing. It doesn't necessarily need a clear out to work per se. Now, we did use kind of a clear out with RB, but it's from the slot, and it wasn't working with the corner outs earlier, so you see it does work with this. You just run the play like this. If you'd like to block your running back, you can most definitely do that. And you notice Gabe Davis on this zig route, but it's actually going the other way. It's going inside instead of outside. Very nice route right there. And overall, it's a killer play. Something you can do is, if you want, block your running back, you can leave Crowder on his route. Now, if I were running this, I would hope that I have an outside apprentice and put Diggs on a deeper post. We don't have that in the beginning of the year, so we're not going to do it. You can motion Gabe Davis out, and now you have the crosser. You can kind of pump fake. I wouldn't motion him out that much, but you see how the corner out it opens up because we motioned him out. And overall, good concept. Now, something I forgot to show with Z-Spot, you can apply that to this concept as well. Something you can do is a concept like this: be on an out route, A on a streak. So you could kind of do that. Now, it's not as good again this year as it was in 21 or 22, but that's something that you could do, and it's good against people who aren't double flatting. So you could do that. You could kind of apply the same concept with you be on a out route and RB on a streak. Something like this could work as well if you would really want it to. And you can throw A earlier. I probably messed up on the read there, but you can throw A earlier before he breaks out to the outside as well. Anyways, our last play is going to be mesh spot. I like this play a lot, and generally what I like to do with this play is to put B on a little flat. With RB, you can put him on a hitch or something, but we're putting X on an out route, and we're trying to open up the seams. You see, you can be more generous with the passing this year. It is a little bit better, so you can kind of fit into tighter zones, back shoulders, things like that. You notice that we're doing, and I mean, overall, it's a good play to use. So we can check it down. You notice how these flats, I like them a lot this year. Take what the defense gives you, and if you have somebody running in the seam, a streak, a wheel with the tight end, you notice how you can take advantage. This is one of those plays in the red zone that is very good. You're sending 5 out, you're spacing the field. You can also motion Gabe Davis out and throw it like this. They run the flats very slow this year, which is a good thing, and just easily take advantage. So that's really my only setup for mesh spot. Of course, we can throw the tight end wheel as well if we wanted, and you notice how RB does a really good job of holding in those zones, so you can take advantage of that. Anyways, that's a new video. Let me know what you guys want to see. Again, I'm going to bring you guys a playbooks list. Defense, defense probably tomorrow, my favorite defense. And then, of course, we have a lot of things in the books. We're going to drop run defenses. We're going to drop other offenses. Trips tight ends going to be definitely one we want to do. And I'm also going to be mixing in gameplays. I did a decent job last year of mixing in gameplays. I could have done more, so we'll see what we can do, but maybe even stream a little bit. That's a new video. If you guys enjoyed, drop a like. Subscribe to the channel down below. Follow me on Twitter. All my links in the description. Try and drop more content on Twitter, TikTok, all that stuff. And peace. I'm out.